Alright. At everyone. I didn't want to do this. Do what? Go live with KOTOR. We're going to Wookiee World. Alright. Hello! 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 Oh my god, I forgot I was watching this video. Hello! 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 Alright, perfect. Alright, let's boot this fucker up. Let's do it. Let's get it. I now understand that you can hear the clicking of the candy. That's it. It's your next fucking... That's your next 6 minutes. It's just the sound of me progressively making more old man mouse noises. As I slowly and succulently suck on my Werther's original caramel. No, I didn't crash. I mean, yeah, technically it always crashes when I'm booting it. Because that's part of getting... It crashing is part of my, calculations. If it didn't crash, I actually wouldn't know what the fuck to do. But yeah, it always crashes when I'm booting up the first time. Because it crashes when the widescreen, patch gets injected into the exe. Alright, we got 22, 23, 22, 23, 21, 23, 19. It's definitely 23, 22. Oh yeah, that's right, I was talking to the Gamorreans and I was scaring them, and I was being a big scary person. Hi, Gurk. What? We gotta run. Gotta run real fast. Squee! Gurk, we gotta go somewhere and wait for me. It was pretty disappointing. The first one was really good. We aren't in your way, right? We don't want to get you mad or nothing. Shh, Gurk. Your voice maybe annoys them. See you later, boys. This has a 6% chance of working. Oh my god! It fucking worked, mate! Oh, you didn't like the second one as much? It looks decent. Not as disappointing as Belle, though. Movie so fucking bad, I kicked Mamoru Hosoda's ass off my favorites list. What has he done? Other than that? Gurk said no more talking. You got sand in your ears? No more talking. We're in your way, right? We don't want to get you mad or nothing. See you later, boys. The name sounds familiar, but there is a lot of Mamarus who work in fucking animation. Alright, we are done with Tatooine, now that we have scared those fucking Gamorrean slavers. Girl Who Leapt Through Time, that's a pretty good movie. That's a pretty good movie. Summer Wars, that's a pretty good movie. Wolf Children, I understand why people like that movie. I did not enjoy it, but I understand the appeal. Boy and His Beast, not that good. I briefly forgot that my screen was visible. And I was just running around in a fucking circle like a jackass. Upgrade item. I got a Sigil Stone, which is 1d6. Yo! 3 energy damage with a 2d6 massive crit found in the asteroid fields of Firth system. This crystal can be used in lightsaber construction to produce an intense beam that extraordinarily quick to the cut. And of course, Crate Dragon Pearls. Attack 3, damage boost 2. Taken from the gullet of a Crate Dragon, this crystalline pearl appears to have a refractory qualities that might allow it to function as a lightsaber crystal once properly adapted. Across the Spider-Verse was in desperate need of a different editor. It's 2 hours, 20 minutes, and it doesn't have any right to be long. That doesn't justify the length at all. Oh, yeah, I get that. Alright, 2d6 is the equivalent of, on average... No, but it's 3 points of damage per swing, right? Okay, no, yeah, it's 3 points of damage and then 2d6 on crit. Which means Opila will outdamage Crate Dragon Pearl 100% of the time. Actually, it's 1d6 for Sigil. So Opila will, on average, outdamage Sigil Crystal, too. What's my Rubik Crystal do? 1-1? 1-1 is useless. Get that out of here. Okay, so Opila is the best for damage. Heads up. And then... damage 2, damage d6. So Sigil is better. It ends on a cliffhanger for a third movie. Oh, that's disappointing. The first one was really nice and self-contained. Yeah, look at that. 6 out of 25. Crits on a 19 plus 212 threat. Yeah, attack mod +1. I don't need attack mod, though. My fucking strength score is like 1 trillion, so... Alright, now let's go with... Diamond Crystal is an attack bonus of 3, which is really cool, but also I don't need it. And Rubit's a +1/1. So let's go with a Crate Dragon Pearl on 1. And then for the other one, let's go for a Rubit. Now let's look at Bastila's lightsaber. We'll go ahead and give her a nice Crate Dragon Pearl, because I have a billion of them. Probably shouldn't have said the fuck word, because probably not. And we'll give her a... Now, she doesn't have as high of stats as I do, so we should probably give her a Diamond Crystal. And then for Jahan... Actually, no. Let's give Jahani the Diamond Crystal. We'll give Bastila the Rubit. We'll give Jahani that. And then we'll give her a Bonder Crystal. I need 2 more Crate Dragon Pearls, right? Yeah. So let's go give her a Crate Pearl. And then we're going to hold on to these. We're giving her a Bonder Crystal for that lightsaber. And now I just have red lightsabers for no reason. Maybe we should give Juhani a short lightsaber on her offhand? Nah, fuck that. Practical gun choices are for pussies. Kylo Nord's got a 9-1. Does anyone else have a way to beat that? No. Give Bastila a red crystal. We're not giving Bastila a red crystal. Foam, 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 foam. I think she comes with a red crystal, anyway. Like, I think she just acquires a red crystal. So I don't think that's a thing we have to do. I normally change her out of her fucking piss yellow color, though, because I think yellow lightsabers look stupid. Like, I think they're just ugly, so I normally change them. Like, yellow is like... Can we talk about this? Yellow might be the worst color of lightsaber.
Hey there, what can I do for you?
You know anything about these Gizka creatures?
Are you sure you want to ask me about that? Hey there, what can I...
I'll talk about your brother.
Don't worry.
Alright. Hey, Canderous.
Yeah, what do you want?
You seen all these Gizka on the ship?
So deal with it. Why are you asking me about it?
I don't know, I was wondering if you had anything.
Yeah, what do you want?
Any more war stories?
I don't have as many strange stories like the last one I told you, but I do have a couple about me and the stuff I've done. In one battle above the world of Althir, my unit managed to defeat a force of Althiri 10 times our own size. That battle gained me command of an entire subsect of my clan.
I should very clearly point out I do not know what an Althiri is. Tell me the story.
For 5 days, they had managed to hold off our forces, keeping us to the outer rings of their world, preventing us from attacking it directly. My task was to assault one of their flanks with a false attack. The Althiri would be drawn out by the units I had sent in. Once they had surrounded those units, the bulk of my forces would attack from the rear and defeat them in detail.
Did it work?
Things didn't go as I had planned. I saw an opening, a mistake they had made in the disposition of their forces, and took it. While fending off our main force, they had let their fleet split in two. The center of their entire fleet was left exposed. I turned my forces and assaulted the center of their fleet, decimating them.
What'd they do?
Their slow, ponderous ship could not turn to face us without being overwhelmed. The command vessels were destroyed in seconds. Their ranks were thrown into chaos. It was amusing to watch the surviving ships scatter and flee. Several even tried to dive through the plane of the rings to escape us. They were shredded by the rings, or crashed into rocks, or were destroyed by our forces as we pursued them. Warriors do not flee from a battle if they are losing. They fight to the end, as we did against your Jedi Revan. Another time, maybe, I'll tell you about how the war with the Republic went. For now, let's just get on with things. Is there something else?
Nope. Alright, that's a sick-ass Canderous story. We're done with H3. HK, I mean. Let's talk to Juhani real quick.
How may I be of assistance to you, Padawan?
You know anything that can be done about all these Gizka?
I do not know how to help you with that. I am sorry.
I wish asking about the Gizka didn't kick you out of dialogue.
How may I be of assistance to you, Padawan?
Alright, I was wondering if we could talk.
What is it you would like to speak to me about?
I want to talk about your past.
Well, I suppose I have not talked very much about the Jedi I met back home. They, all of them, were so very invigorating.
Invigorating?
They were so very alive, so full of hope and energy and zeal. In retrospect, I can see it was a little bit tragic.
What do you mean?
Those Jedi were going to fight the Mandalorians just after they had invaded. Many of those Jedi perished in the fighting, but to us, they seemed invincible. Especially their leader, who they talked about all the time. Paragons of light and justice, sweeping away all iniquity before them. It was like looking at gods.
I love the line. Damn straight, I do look divine. The Jedi are not gods.
I know that. I was using poetic license. But those Jedi, they were enthralling. Everyone wanted just to touch them. Some people thought it would bring them luck. Not that the peace they brought lasted very long.
What happened?
The Jedi left. The people grew complacent. Those who had been wronged saw their chance at revenge. And so the cycle continues. The oppressed become the new generation of oppressors. The human oppressed, that is. The non-humans were never treated well in any case. We felt the brunt of both administrations.
Was it that bad?
Of course it was. They took their frustrations and hate out on us because the people they wanted had already fled or were too well protected. But no one looks out for the injustices we suffered. Oh no, but I am sorry. I should not have outbursts like that.
It's alright.
No, it is not. Anger can lead to the dark side, and I must be ever careful that I do not fall back into those ways. I thank you for your support. My outburst was uncalled for, but you did not lash back at me. You are a much better Jedi than I, it would seem. But let us not speak more of this now. We should continue on our journey. Perhaps later we will talk again. Yes.
Is something wrong?
I have been bothered by something of late.
What is it?
I never told you where I came from, did I? Where I grew up as a child? I suppose I was trying to deny what I was feeling.
I love... Are you hitting on me? What?
I have been wrestling with my feelings inside. Trying to come to terms with it, but I find I cannot. I must have someone to blame. Someone to blame for the destruction of my homeworld. Someone who is responsible for the death of everyone I have ever known, except those on Dantooine.
You mean...
Taris. It was Taris that the Sith destroyed to try to kill you and your precious Bastilla. Taris, my homeworld.
I'm sorry, Juhani, I did not know.
If it were not for you and Bastilla, the Sith would have never had reason to destroy that world. It was your fault for being there, and your fault for rescuing Bastilla. Without your intervention, the Sith would have had no cause to lay waste to my childhood. Just let me vent my anger. I need someone to blame.
Taris sucked, though.
I hated that world. Yet everything I learned
It
as a
did, it
child,
really
I
did.
learned there. It is as much a part of me as the air I breathe. I have this ache inside me, where all my childhood memories lay, and I find your face there with them. If it was not for you, that world would still exist.
The gameplay of Taris is fine. The gameplay of Terrace is like basically the same as everything else. In fact, I actually kind of like Terrace from a gameplay perspective. Like the multi-leveled cities, each one with its own like sort of culture and its own like strifes, and using that to navigate and having to like move through Sith bureaucracy. Like Terrace is actually really cool as an in-game location. It is definitely the longest world in the game, but as an introduction, I think it does its job really well. I'm sorry, Jahani. There was no way to prevent it.
I know. I suppose I realized that.
So realistically, you do stay in Terrace until you're like level 8. So that is like the bulk of the game. But, or I wouldn't say the bulk of the game. I would say it's a solid like 20% of the game is in Terrace. So it is definitely the longest world, but I never had a problem with Terrace. I actually like it. Oh, Tatooine and Kashyyyk are a lot less interesting than Terrace, though. That's more of like a, that almost sounds like a sort of like fan bias right there is what that sounds like. You know, actually, okay, Kashyyyk's not that bad. Kashyyyk's kind of cool, but Kashyyyk plays a lot like Terrace. Tatooine is probably, I would say, the weakest world in the game. Because it really is just like Anchorhead and then a fucking desert with some sand people. I love this line. It'd be hard to lose your entire past. You would not understand. You're right. I don't understand.
I suppose that is to be expected. Everything will turn out for the best, as long as we remain focused on our task. I am sorry. I will try not to distract you in the future with my trivial experiences. We should stop for now.
I doubt it existed in the Old Republic, but I'd like to run around Cloud City. It might have... I'm not sure when Cloud City was created. Because I know it was like a mining plant that fucking Lando won in a poker game, basically. Which is frankly, I wish I could win a city in a poker game. Honestly, like that should be how we decide all mayors. Who's the best at poker?
How can I help?
I don't think he says some kind of dumb Star Wars card game. It's basically poker, though. You look like you have something to say.
I do. I've been trying to come up with the best way to say this for some time, but I suppose I should just come out and say it. The truth is, I have come to depend on you. Not just for the sake of the mission, but for my own sake as well. I'm glad you're with us.
You made that sound very painful for you to admit.
Did I? I am trying to be sincere here. It occurred to me that I may have been too critical of you, too demanding at times.
Thank you. I appreciate the gesture.
I know my manner can be a bit taciturn. I know you must be getting sick of my lectures about the dark side and everything else. I spent all my years being hounded by my instructors, being told so often how gifted and important I was until I was sick of it. I remember when I was younger, I used to swear that I would never become as self-absorbed and stodgy as the Jedi Masters. It's ironic, really.
Nonsense. You're not self-absorbed or stodgy.
That's kind of you to say, but I know for myself it's not really true. Being controlled has kept everyone around me at an arm's length. Even those like yourself who are most in need of my understanding and compassion. But maybe it's time to change that. You deserve to know how much I respect and admire you. I just thought I should tell you.
I'm glad you did.
Well, that was not nearly so difficult as I feared. Thank you for hearing me out. I feel much better, but enough soul-searching for now. We should probably continue on with our mission.
I never noticed he says his name wrong. How does he say it in the movie?
Yes, what's on your mind?
Do you know anything that can be done about all these Gizka?
I'm not really sure, but you can figure it out on your own, can't you?
Why am I the only one concerned about the Gizka?
How can I help?
Do you know anything that can be done about these Gizka on board?
How can I help? I wish I could help you with that.
These motherfuckers. Like, I'm just going person to person being like, the Gizka. Any fucking clues? Zalbar. Do you know anything about dealing with Gizka? I know nothing of what you speak. Well, thanks, Zalbar.
Yes, what's on your mind?
Alright. Do you want to talk? You got pretty upset last time we spiked.
I'm not very good at this. I know I owe you an apology. More than one, probably. I was just so desperate to finally face Saul directly in the Battle over Terrace.
He says,
now the Jedi have us looking for these.
He says Han
these
instead of,
star
like,
maps.
Han.
I know this mission is important. It's just.
Han. Oh, he says
I feel
Han.
useless. I mean, I can fight, sure, but I'm no Jedi. All this feels completely out of my league.
Yeah, I never noticed. Why don't you return to the front lines then?
Because this is more important. This may really finally make a difference. I suppose even if I can't figure out everything that's going on, I still want to help if I can. I just hate not knowing what's going on and feeling this helpless. But I shouldn't have taken that out on you. I've been a royal pain in the backside, haven't I?
Don't worry about it, Karth.
No, I do worry about it. I've traveled the lanes more than once. I should know better than this. So, I'm sorry. Will you accept my apology?
I don't know. Maybe you should work for it a bit.
Oh. Well, I don't know if I like the sound of that.
No need to start sweating, Karth. I was only teasing.
So you do accept my apology? Good, good. I'm glad. You know, you aren't so bad to have around. You know that.
I know, I'm very charming, I'm told.
Well, more than that, but... Anyway, we should be off.
Yes! We're doing it! We're seducing Karth! Mission objective! This really is... this whole playthrough is my objective to seduce Karth. And then there's a bullet point underneath that, where it's like, also, objective number 2 is become the galaxy's greatest swoop racer. And then there's a bullet point under that where it's like, third priority. Defeat everyone at Pazak at least once. And then the fourth priority is, oh yeah, also save the galaxy from the Sith, I guess. I've been playing Raito, realize how much this tech playthrough of that game scares me. Oh! Okay, well see, I was on board, and now I'm getting worried. Alright, we're gonna pop in there, because supposedly every time you do the thing... Every time you drop down, let's take... Who's the lowest level? Everyone should be level 12 or 13, so anyone who's not that needs to come with me. Let's take Zalbar. Who else do I need? I need Zalbar in mission, actually. I'm too attached to that game. Anything bad you say I'll take personally. Well, we all know that it is my journalistic integrity that prevents me from not saying how I feel, so I guess be warned about that. This band has a con of 20 and a strength of 20. I see genuinely no reason not to keep pumping strength and con, honestly. I forgot Silver has a computer use of 10. I lucked out not seeing you stream P3. I don't know how you'd have felt about my P3 playthrough, honestly. Because on one hand, I did kind of shit-talk it a bit, but on the other hand, it was like, the other half of that playthrough was me talking about how much better it is than P4. Like, a significant portion of it, of that playthrough, especially when I was, like, in, like, Tartarus, was like, man, this is so much better than P4. I'm glad this is what Persona is, and not just P4, because, man, was P4 rough. Like, I did spend a good amount of my P3 playthrough talking about how much I secretly didn't like P4, because I was kind of afraid to shit on P4 because of how popular it was at the time. So my P4 review was super weak, super kids' gloves, and I didn't really start shit-talking it until my P3 playthrough. Came around during that, I may or may not have been in the chat right now. I might have just left and never come back. No, I mean, I did get... P3 still ranks pretty decently. Like, it's, like, far from my favorite game I've ever played, but I did enjoy it. It's not like I didn't give it a good pass. Everyone shit on P4 back then. It was, like... When I played P3... This would have been, like, fucking, like, 2019. Where does P3 rank right now? I think it's pretty high, right? Yeah, P3 ranks at, like, slot 29, above Final Fantasy VII and under Drakengard 3. Like, it is in a decent position, honestly. But P5 was already out when I did my P4 stream. Like, my experience with P4, because I got into Persona, like, really late, was just people universally praising P4. And so it was super beloved when I went in there, and so my P4 review was very kids' gloves. Also, I think it was, like, the second... It was like the second game we did on stream, because we started Favorite Search with Fable, and then we went into P4. I think P4 was directly after Fable. There might have been Galgun in between that, but yeah, like P4 was basically immediately into Favorite Search. And at that point in time, I was still, like, I didn't even do a review for Fable, because I always did reviews at the end of my Let's Plays. Like, literally, Let's Play number 1, which was The Darkness, I did a review at the end. That was always, like, a thing I did. But I didn't do it when I moved over to streaming. Like, I stopped doing it when I moved over to streaming, because I considered streaming to be the sort of, like, lazy content I was doing, because I didn't want to do Let's Plays anymore, because they were too much effort. And so I didn't do, like, a review of Fable, and I got in there with, like, P4 and gave my rough thoughts, and it wasn't until, like, Game 3 or Game 4 where I'm like, fuck it. You know what? I'm doing reviews again. I like doing reviews. And then that's when I started getting into it. So there was a legitimate, like, P3 review. Like, P3 got an actual review. P4 kind of didn't. And I definitely went light on P4. Because, honestly, it was so popular and everyone liked it so much, especially, like, everyone in my chat, that at that time, I was afraid of being like, yeah, honestly, I didn't vibe with this game. Whereas P3, I was like, yo... social links in this game kind of suck, but I enjoyed everything else, and the only thing I liked in P4 was, this is basically a truncated version of that review, is the only thing I liked in P4 was the social links, and in this game, I liked everything but the social links, and this is a better game, and then we played The Answer, and I'm like, holy shit, The Answer fucking rocks. Why does more people not talk about The Answer? And that was my review of The Answer. So it did, so I don't know how offended you would have taken a P3 review. I guess it depends on how sensitive you are in that regard, but I was pretty generous to P3, honestly. Like, I was nice to that game. Like, I didn't, like, take a dump all over it. I definitely had my criticisms of it, but I definitely, but like, it wasn't like non-stop, this game sucks. Like, because, yeah, it still ranks pretty high on the list of, like I put it over Final Fantasy VII, which is a compliment if I've ever heard it, to any game, so. And then you had 1 and 2 fans who shit on both, and then SMT fans with the, Tyrone, you're but casual scum, Persona 4 is casualized 80% panders to lonely waifu facts. Oh shit, I wasn't allowed to say that. You didn't hear that. The answer was written by someone who directs SMT games. Huh. Let's go treat injury, because fuck it, why not? I don't, like, especially if you're reading a quotation, I don't feel that saying offensive words like that, like, it really slurs in general when you are, like, reading something out loud is offensive. Where I think a slur becomes genuinely offensive is if you say it to a person with malicious intent, or more specifically, someone with whom the slur actually targets. Right? Just saying the actual physical word as a word should not be... I know a lot of people disagree with me, but saying a word as a word should not be considered offensive. But if you direct it at someone, if you call someone that word, then it becomes offensive. No doubt about it. I'm not arguing that. That is offensive. Do not do that. But I was wondering if you like talking again. What brings you here this time? Let's see. Do you have anything you'd be willing to sell me? He was a writer for Strange Journey. Yo, Strange Journey was real fucking good, though. Kazuyuki Yamai, he directed SMT3, the writer of games in SMT4. Strange 4 was actually, Strange Journey is shockingly well written, especially the dialogue. Although, I wonder how well the dialogue is written in Japanese, if someone just fucking killed it on the localization team. Like, the best written dialogue that I've experienced in any Mega 10 game is in Strange Journey. So I was told this dude would have more shit, but he does not, in fact, have more shit. I am caught on nothing. Yeah, Strange Journey is, like, weirdly underappreciated. Like, people talk about it like, oh, it's the hardest Mega 10 game, and it's like, okay, but can we talk about how fucking good it is, though, for a second? Alright, so we've done Tatooine. Mainly because they, made it with us Gaijins in mind, so Japan didn't super vibe with it. And you know what? It speaks to me. It found its target audience. Into me. What did I describe it as? I described it as, I remember I talked about it on the podcast. I think I described it as, the movie Armageddon with Bruce Willis, but mixed with Persona, but then it's cooler than that sounds. Like, add cool sunglasses to it, I think is what I described it as. Kashyyyk, Temperate Forest, Species, Wookiees, Zerka Corporation Outpost. Alright, now we're gonna head to the home planet of the most boring alien species in all of Star Wars that people for some reason like. Hope you like Rydell. You'll know if you've upset me if I just stop showing up until the game is done. That's fair. And you know what? I when Woohoo Brokeback used to show up, I used to say, if you're not vibing with the playthrough, it's totally okay for you to take a break, come back when the specific game is over. Did not take to that idea, but it is what I would encourage. If you're like, yo, I can't take this, it's totally okay if you just, like, wait for the next game. Because I'll get to the next game eventually.
Another vision. The Force is guiding us, helping us retrace the steps.
To be very clear, I go into every game hoping I will like the game.
Kashyyyk is a lush but simple and undeveloped world. I would not have expected to find the alien technology of a star map here.
I said if you don't vibe with the playthrough. It looked like the star map was on the forest floor.
The Wookiees of Kashyyyk make their home high among the Rosha branches. Only their bravest warriors dare to descend into the forbidding depths of the forest. If the star map is located far beneath us on the planet's surface, as our vision seems to suggest, it's unlikely the Wookiees even know of its existence. No doubt things will become more clear once we discover the star map's location.
I am surprised. Can we talk about this for a brief second? For someone that always shit talks super best friends, I am shocked at your recent comments about Pat and Wooly. I believe it's Kashyyyk. I believe the double triple Y's make an E sound. Like, I know a lot of people say Kashyyyk, but I am pretty sure it's Kashyyyk. Triple Y's. Looks like we have a 19-hour save. Oh, we have two 19-hour saves. Oh, God, that was back when I was swoop racing. Can you swoop race in Kashyyyk? Sure. Yeah, I'll hear your story with the best friends. I will say this, if it was not for the super best friends, I would not be streaming right now. Like, I will sometimes mention, like, who got me into the idea of streaming, and I mentioned before, it's like Achievement Hunter, most specifically their Minecraft series, and the Jesse Cox and Total Biscuit Terraria Next World series. I will occasionally forget to mention that it was the two best friends plays that also got me in, and more specifically, the setup I use, or more specifically, in this exact circumstance, the microphone. The old capture card I used to use also, but the current microphone I use was actually taken from what they said their stream setup was at the time. During their, I can picture the game, I just don't remember its name, Dead Space playthrough. I don't know how long this was. It was like 11 or 12. I was pretty young, but my friend at the time was really into them, thought they were super funny.
Yes, what's on your mind?
So it shows me a bunch of two best friend players, and it was fucking obnoxious. Tell me why you want revenge on Saul so badly.
I already told you, he betrayed us all.
The videos were obnoxious, or your friend showing things to you? I don't think they spoke normally once. Oh, did he show you the old Machinima videos? It just seems to be more personal than that is all.
Well, there is more to it. I'm sure you don't want to hear about it.
Yeah, their personas kind of changed over time. Excuse me. I still think that a lot of those old Machinima videos hold up, though. Especially the P4 one. Their Persona 4 video is the reason I got interested in Persona 4 in the first place. I do if that's all right with you.
It's just that I don't talk about it very much, okay? I told you about my homeworld, Telos. 4 years ago, Saul led the Sith fleet there and demanded...
Yeah, it was Matt, Pat, Wooly, and Liam.
Saul proceeded to devastate
who I think
its entire
still...
surface. Millions.
I don't know if Liam's still active. But I know Matt, Pat, and Wooly all split up when Super
My
Best
task
Friends
force
died.
arrived too late to be of much help. We didn't have enough medical supplies.
I know Wooly
The
still
colony
collabs with
was
Pat, but I don't
burning
think they
and
would
the
talk to
dying
Matt
were
much
everywhere.
anymore.
I remember holding my wife and screaming for the medics, but they didn't come in time.
That's terrible. I'm sorry. I didn't know.
Of course not. How could you? I had nothing left after that, really. I devoted myself to the fleet. Hunting Saul was my only purpose. I miss them. And I know killing Saul won't bring them back. And it won't make me happy again, but I have to do it. I don't expect you to understand, but I have to pay him back for what he's done. I have to. It's all I have left.
What was she like, your wife?
She had courage, and she was stubborn. A little bit like you in that respect.
Of course, I didn't tell you
her out of
anything.
anything once she put her mind to it. And she hated it when I signed back onto the fleet at the start of the war. Now, I had planned on leaving soon to join her.
So what happened to your son? You didn't say.
His name was Dustle, and I don't know what happened to him. The colony was a complete ruin, and we never found any trace of him. I made inquiries and followed the reports from Telos for years, but I stopped. Anyway, that's the story, for what it's worth.
Thank you for telling me.
I've never talked about it before to anyone. Suppose it's time I finally did.
He joined the Sith, by the way. I guess spoilers. His son's a Sith.
Yes, what's on your mind?
Do you know anything about this place?
Kashyyyk is covered by a giant forest, I hear. Trees kilometers high. The Wookiees live in the higher branches, I think. Well, that's all I can think of, at any rate.
Get fucked, card. And for the record, when I say his son joined the Sith, I do not mean as a soldier.
How can I help?
You're curious about something.
Am I so transparent? I suppose I shouldn't be surprised.
It's like the
considering our
universe
bond.
hates him.
Yes, there is something I would like to ask if you'll permit it.
Go ahead.
In our time together, I've been watching you. You are a true servant of the light. You follow the tenets of the Jedi Order despite the lure of the dark side. And with so little training, for me, it has always been a constant.
Yeah, when we see him in, we will.
You make it seem so easy.
Bit of a spoiler. We will be seeing him in Sith, in fucking Sith Academy when we're learning to master the dark side. Flex dude Jedi girlfriend is. I just do what I think is right.
And that's enough for you. If only it were as easy for me. If only the right path was always clear. I've always struggled for control over my passions. I've always been too quick to anger, too quick to get involved. My instructors constantly berated me for it. I've often dreamed that I might be able to confront Darth Malak myself. I dream I can use all this power I have to kill him and stop all the death and destruction. I just think about all the evil that the Sith have caused, and I get so furious. Yet we are told that these feelings are the path to the dark side.
You have to trust in the wisdom of the Jedi Code.
Yes, of course, you're right. I have to remember my training. The Masters know well the corrupting influence of the dark side. Although it is hard for me to imagine. The very thought that I could become as evil as Malak, I just can't fathom it. It just doesn't seem possible. I mean, how could I... No. Wait, I'm sorry. I shouldn't even be asking you this. The Jedi teachings are clear. Who am I to question them? And even worse, who am I to try and make you question them?
What?
These are dangerous thoughts. The indulgence of a vain mind. Please, forget I ever mentioned this. Let's just return to our mission. How can I help? Then I...
Yes, what's on your mind?
Alright. So we're gonna talk to everyone. We'll do Zalbar last, because Zalbar's gonna be like, I do not want to be on this planet. Please get me off of this planet.
How may I be of assistance to you, Padawan?
I was wondering if we could talk.
What is it you would like to speak to me about?
What are you thinking about?
I have been thinking much about our journey, and I am grateful and honored that you have accepted me with you. I am not used to such unbiased acceptance from one who is nearly a stranger to me. We Cathar do not make friends easily, or for long. Even on Dantooine, I remained alone.
I love her fucking reasons so far.
Ostracized exactly, but separate.
Tell me about your people.
In truth, I have lived in the Republic too long, and I know little. I never met any others of my race other than my parents. But we are not diplomats. We do not deal well with groups. This situation is new to me. It is warming. I feel almost welcome. Needed. You seem to be very decisive when it is required of you. It is reassuring to know that I can count on someone like you.
It's only because I haven't found out how to ditch you yet. We're all in this together.
Yes, and that is my point. I find it difficult to explain. It is so different from what I am used to. Just thank you for accepting me. How may I be of assistance?
I was wondering if we could talk.
What is it you would like to speak to me about?
What are you thinking about?
Terrace was my home for many years. As much as I hated
I
it,
forget if
it was
Juhani
still
has a
home.
side quest.
A rat hole, a warren, a paradise. I suppose you could call it all these things. For me, it was hell.
How so?
To walk down the streets, to have people look at you in disgust, like an animal. Most did not know anything about me, but it was there, all the same. Because I was an alien. Because I was different from them. Frightening. I doubt any of them had even seen my people before. So they persecuted me. They looked down on me and my family. Charged us more for food. Would not let us walk their streets. They spat on us. You are human. You could not possibly know.
Humans can be just... I don't like any of these answers. Let's go humans can be just as cruel to each other. Because that one's at least, like, acknowledging her feelings.
That is true, I suppose. But it is much more obvious for someone like me. There were no other Catholic
Look, I
priests.
understand you
No one
experienced
to talk to, no one to
racism,
confide in.
but humans suck also.
But I am strong enough to admit it.
You're not weak, Juhani. It must have been hard.
I thank you for your concern, but maybe I am weak. To think that some stories of my stupid past could possibly interest you.
No, it's alright. I'll be here to listen whenever you want.
I thank you. You are kinder than I would have expected to put up with me using you in this way. I hope that I will not use your time so badly in the future. Thank you.
Warning, Juhani's side quest and the rare armor weapons vendor in Drashida on Korriban are closely linked. If you are on Juhani's quest or have completed it before you get the invite to Mika Doran's premium wares, you'll never get the invite. This quest begins when a man named Zor approaches your group and offers to buy Juhani from you. Convince Juhani to calm down by telling her the Jedi code. You'll get light side points. It doesn't seem like provoking him or offering to sell Juhani gives you dark side points. Once you meet Zor, there is a chance that in any docking bay you can be approached by him, 2 Rhodian thugs after exiting. This time it will result in a fight with Zor and his guards and lower his health to 20% to trigger a scene in dialogue. If you encourage Donnie to take revenge, you'll get dark side points. Using Jedi code, you get light side points. That's it? That's her companion quest? That's fucking lame. Start location, any event location in docking bays. Okay. So if I recall, the planets are Tatooine, Kashyyyk, Manan, Korriban, correct? After we do 3 worlds, we get put on the Sith Dreadnought. So we need to make sure we trigger most of these companion quests before finishing Manan.
How may I be of assistance to... What is it you...
Nothing. We're done. Goodbye, Juhani. Pew, 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 pew. Lightsabers. Ah!
Statement.
Do you know anything about these geese, KHK?
Statement. I have little knowledge of that to impart, Master.
Darn.
Statement. Those... Statement.
I want to begin a fighter simulator.
Statement. Certainly, Master. Allow me to input the proper sequences into the ship's computer. I caution you that this simulation will appear quite real. Are you ready to begin the training sequence, Master?
Never mind.
As you...
I just realized what I was agreeing to do. Alright, Candace.
Yeah, what do you want?
You know anything about this world?
It has big trees, in case your eyes don't work anymore. But I do know that there is one exceptional race on this world. The Wookiees. The Wookiees, although primitive compared to us, are surprisingly capable warriors. They're strong and pick up combat techniques pretty quickly. I think they're more than a match for the average Republic or Sith trooper. When we were looking for targets, we considered this world carefully. We were wondering if we'd have to use larger weapons than our war droids if we wanted to clear the damn forest so we could fight in the open. Too many trees means they can go into hiding too easy. And what's a continent or two turned to glass if we get the whole world after? You have anything else you want to ask?
I was wondering if you had any more war stories.
I think I'll tell you a bit about the recent war we had with the Republic. That might be more familiar to you. The one where Jedi Revan beat my people. We started by conquering worlds outside the Republic. We did it quietly so the Republic wouldn't really know what was going on until it was too late. When we finally did hit the Republic worlds, they had no idea we were coming. We came in through 3 invasion corridors in adjacent sectors. Anyone who
I've never heard the ship ambiance loop
we
before.
raised whole worlds trying to provoke the Republic into fighting us. I don't particularly enjoy wiping out worlds for its own sake, but the cowardly tactics the Republic defenders used left us little choice.
What do you mean?
Hiding in the homes of civilians, using families as shields, thinking we would not use appropriate force on their bases inside major cities. They underestimated our resolve, and what measures are acceptable in war. Those who cannot defend themselves should not be around those who can in battle. If annihilating a city is the kind of power it takes to overwhelm a Republic shield device, then that's what we did. Necessary force to destroy all opposition.
Now that's my kind of warfare.
There was no honor in wiping them out like rats. But some of your forces did redeem the Republic in our eyes. Especially later.
How did they redeem themselves?
Later, when Revan had joined the war. But we'll get back to that. We've wasted too much time already. Is there something else you want to know?
Nope.
Yeah, what do you...
Alright, Candace is done. We're gonna have one final talk with Mission, and then we're gonna talk to Zalbar. And Zalbar's gonna be like, ah! And then we're gonna step off, and then Lena's gonna talk to Mission, and then we're gonna have to go back to Tatooine, and then this stream will end on Tatooine. Haha! We're back, baby!
Hey there. What can I do for you?
That would be hilarious, and I think we're actually going to do that. I would love to go back to Tatooine. You know anything about the planet we're on?
Well, I know Zalbar's from Kashyyyk, but he never liked to talk about it. He wouldn't even tell me why he left. I don't think the Wookiees like outsiders much. Sorry I can't be more help, you know? Is there anything else I can do for you?
Oh, nothing for now.
Hey there.
I want to talk about your brother.
Don't worry.
Alright. Alright, let's go talk to Zally. Lightsabers. Hello, Zalbar. How do you feel about our current location? Is there something you want? You know anything about the planet we're on? I've been away from Kashyyyk a long time, but things look the same as I left them. Slavers still hold my people prisoner. I'm not sure what I can tell you, or even what I would want to. You're an outsider too. It angers me. Anything more to say about yourself, Zalbar? I will honor my light bet. Okay. Alright, let's get the fuck off this planet. Person 1, Zalbar. Person 2, mission. Let's go. Greetings to you. I'm pleased to welcome you to planet G5623. I do not see your ship on my docking schedule. The Zerka Corporation will see to your needs, of course, but there is a 100 credit docking fee in advance, I fear. Docking fee? Why do I need to play that? This outpost is remote and expensive to maintain. The 100 credits will ensure that it remains here for your use, of course. Upon collection of the correct fees, I will extend what resources the Zerka Corporation could offer. I'm sure you understand. I don't think I need to pay the docking fee. Perhaps you don't need to pay the docking fee. Any services you need will more than make up for it. I see you have a wiki with you. Can I assume you understand their language? For a fee, Zerka Corporation can provide a translator for you during your visit. That will not be necessary. Very well then. Though most only adapted people seem to comprehend the wiki language, such as it is. Now then, please follow me to the information center and I will answer any further questions there. Ooh, hello, Fudomito. What do you want? I don't get a lot of time to offload from the cargo. If you got something to say, make it quick. What do you do for the Zerka Corporation? Oh, I'm not really considered a real employee. At least not enough to get one of those uniforms I strut around in. I just load cargo. When a ship comes in, I work straight through the day, but mostly I just pass the time playing Bazak. Want a game? I will be back. But right now, let's go to my other questions. Heard any off-planet rumors? I heard something about terrorists, but I don't really know anyone from there, so I haven't paid attention. Does that sound bad? I just figure that whatever's going on, whoever's in charge will always need someone to load crates. I have some questions about Kashyyyk. Oh, you mean Adian? I suppose the wikis can call the planet whatever they want, but the company pays to name the trade routes. I don't know much about it, though. I stay here and load the cargo. You're better off asking patrols or Janice. Well, I have to go. Goodbye.
On it. Done.
Hell yeah, I got nothing I need. It's over 10 days for the news of terrorists to reach me.
Move along, Spacer.
Hey! Fair. Oh, it's Komad. Greetings to you, human. It would seem the call of the hunt has brought us to this troubled world. I've not been here long, but I can see I will not be as welcome here as I hoped. What are you doing? What are you doing here, Komad? Following me? Ah, well, I'm sure you'd prove an interesting hunt. I don't track sentient prey. Two-legged animals do a fine job of killing each other without me. I've come here to seek even greater prey that we faced on Tatooine, but the climate here is politically cold. I don't know if I'll be allowed to hunt. Whose permission are you looking for? An astute question. Zerka Corporation seems in control here, but they don't care if I wander the Shadowlands so long as I pay their docking fee. Instead, I hope to gain the trust of the native Wookiee population, but I'm not here just to kill the biggest thing I can find. I want to understand how they hunt. What are you doing to gain their trust? Very little. I'm sure they've had enough off-worlders like Zerka claiming good intentions. I'll simply try and stay out of their way. I've heard of an off-worlder that's gained respect by living in the Shadowlands for some years. Perhaps I'll attempt the same. Could just be a hunter's tale, though. What do you know of Kashyyyk? I don't know enough. Even from the docking area, I can see that this world is a true wonder. My desert-dimmed imagination can't do it justice. It's just a shame Zerka Corporation here. They lack an appreciation for the wild natures of this world. I don't like having to deal with them. If not Zerka, who would you prefer to deal with? The native leadership of the Wookiees, of course. This is their world, after all. I can't understand why they've allowed it to be misused. I really doubt they allowed it. Perhaps they had no choice. Yeah, that seems obvious. There's always the option to fight, even if there's no option to win. Of course, that's easy for me to say, being an outsider. I would hope they're not complicit in the enslaving of the world, but it's not my place to judge. I only just arrived. Hey, I'm looking for a star map. You heard anything? Nope, but I wasn't listening for such talk. Sorry I can't help you. Well, I have to leave. Goodbye. Farewell. Perhaps we'll meet again. A great hunt on this world would be glorious. Kashyyyk, my home. I should have prepared you for coming here, but I don't know if I've prepared myself. Prepared me? What do you mean? I didn't leave Kashyyyk voluntarily. Mission must have told you how I was fleeing slavers, but there was more. I'm an exile. The slavers in Kashyyyk only took me after I was forced to leave my village 20 years ago. Why were you forced to leave? My brother made deals with slavers and allowed them to get a foothold. I found out and attacked him. The fight was stopped, but my father did not believe me when I told him about my brother's actions. I was made an exile, disowned by my home and my people. I should not be here. They will not accept me back. Why didn't your father believe you? When I attacked my brother, I was so mad I used my claws. You don't understand what that means to a Wookiee. Our claws are tools, not weapons. To use them in battle is to become an animal. It is madness without honor. I am forever a mad claw in the eyes of my people. Nothing I say to be trusted. They were right to cast me out. Time has passed, things will have changed. The slavers are still here, this dock is theirs. I doubt anyone has risen to try and fight. Nothing has changed. I just hope I can prove to my people. It'll be difficult to make them listen. I just don't know. We'll deal with that if we have to. Let's go. I don't have much hope. Don't worry, my boy. We'll get you.
Take a walk, Spacer.
Greetings to you. Something I can get for you?
Kindly direct your inquiries to me. Martin is merely an indebted employee. His opinions don't amount to much. So, new spaces have come to Wild Kashyyyk. Please, look well upon the wares of Eli Gand. I live to serve your needs.
Just be sure to pay cash. The interest on his loans will drain you like a diluvian fatworm on a hut's backside.
First off, hearts are all backside. Secondly, I don't much like the comparison. No need to get personal. It's just business. Poor fellow. He's been waiting for his friends to return with my money for a standard month now. But you don't need to hear this. What can I get you?
I'm Raven and Bray. Let me see what you carry.
Of course. You're in a hurry.
Alright, first things first. Reinforced armor. Buy it. Buy it again. Actually, 7.4's, like, very good. Is that 7.4 upgradable? Nope, just 7.4. Ooh, Joma Hogra's battle armor. 11 plus 2? Yo, you don't know. That is astounding. Immunity critical hits with a strength plus 1. Joma Hogra was a Zabrak mercenary who feared for his life after a raid on a Sith dreadnought. He spent a fortune on his personal armor, only to be killed while in the battle. 100% immunity to electrical. This shielding device worn around the waist absorbs and stores electrical energy directed at the user, which is then released slowly over a period of time, dissipating harmlessly. The manner of release generates vibrations along the inside edge of the shield, giving it a less than complimentary nickname, the Tickler. So this is actually really useful. You can put this on, and then at the end of the game, when you fight Darth Malak, you're like literally immune to Force Lightning. Plus 2 to stealth, that's actually okay. Adrenaline amplifier, cardio regulator, stealth field generator, cyber reaction system, that's pretty decent. Hyperstam, 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 and let's buy a Gizka poison that I will not be using.
Hello again.
Valued in you.
What do you know about Kashyyyk?
I don't concern myself with what goes on past this landing port. The Wookiees are very difficult to deal with. No business sense.
You mean they don't tolerate cheats?
No, I mean they don't respect the finer points of a good business plan. Give and take. That's why the Zerka Corporation simply takes.
What do you mean by that?
You'd have to take your question to the Zerka Corporation and the Wookiees themselves. I keep to myself.
Well, let's go back to my other questions. Do you always enslave your debtors?
Enslave? I resent that. Simply fair business. This man's fellows left without settling their debts, so he must make up the difference.
I know, it's standard trading rules. I just want to know where my crew went. I was only gone for 2 days. This isn't like them.
Yes, very sad that they would abandon you, especially while you were doing me a favor and helping repair one of my freighters.
Something about this whole situation stinks worse than an overcrowded Ronto stable. What kind of friends would just abandon a crewmate?
You think you know someone and they turn out to be a cheat. Oh, not like you, Matt. You honor your tales. A word is a bond in trade.
Do your debtors have a habit of running off?
It happens from time to time. Credits are scarce out here, and not everyone is as honest as Mr. Daisel here.
You'll get your money. My crew will be back.
Of course they will. Until then, however, I can make use of you as a mechanic. Very rare to find skills of your kind out here.
How much debt buys a man's life?
Oh, it isn't about the amount. After all, as a skilled mechanic, Matten is worth much more than what is owed, especially on this remote planet.
Oh, you flatter me, Eli. I guess we're best buddies now.
As I was saying, it's a matter of principle. I'm nothing if not honest in my dealings, and I demand the same. He'll be free to go when his friends turn up and the debt is paid. I honor my deals. Let no one say otherwise.
Perhaps I could settle some of his debt?
Thanks, but no thanks. No offense, but there's no point in exchanging debt to Eli with debt to you.
Besides, he is a hard worker. I'd prefer to keep him.
I have no business with you. I'll be going.
See you soon, I hope. Always open.
Welcome to Adia. I trust you will find our facilities pass inspection. Zerka Corporation is very efficient.
You have nothing to be proud of, fool.
I'm sorry, I don't understand Wookiee speak. Shiri Wook, I think it's called. What did the Wookiee say?
You work on Kashyyyk and you don't understand the language?
Zerka Corporation calls the planet Adian, and no, I don't understand the language. The local Wookiee leader has made it so we don't need to. Wookiees are unable to speak Basic, but for the last decade, the residents of all local villages have been trained to understand it.
No, not really. We met a guy who's been enslaved, and we met Miss Zalbar explaining why he got exiled from his Wookiee village. Oh, and we found a guy who played Pazak, but I didn't play him in Pazak yet. Why would the Wookiee leader do that?
I understand he works very closely with Zerka Corporation. He wants his people to work well with us. It eases tensions.
And it makes my people more desirable as slaves.
What did he say? I don't usually have a translator I can ask.
That knowing Basic just makes his people better slaves.
I just work here in the lab. I don't have anything to do with the taking of slaves.
How convenient. All the benefits with no guilt.
I don't have to justify myself to you. I do good work here. If you're looking for trouble, go somewhere else.
What is your job here?
I'm conducting experiments on various samples of indigenous plant life. There may be untapped pharmaceutical resources here. Of course, that will take some time, and the Wookiees are a more immediate source of income. Please, I must return to my work.
I want to ask some questions about this planet.
I'm sorry, but Director Janos will see to your questions. I must continue my work. I'm conducting a...
Oh, goodbye for now.
Farewell. Hello again. Zerka Corporation is seeing a lot of return business these days. We are the only company offering Wookiees. Please take any inquiries you have to Director Janos. I must continue my work.
All those people on Terra's dead. First I heard the whole planet gone, but even this city is just sad. Oh, so it's just the city on Terrace. That actually creates less plot holes than I thought. Did you hear about the KOTOR 2 DLC? I did not. Like I said, I was unaware original Xbox had DLC.
The payoff from research is too much of a risk for Zerka to spend much money on it. Slaves are proven commodities.
Yeah, that's a Wookiee. Hi, Wookiee. Greetings again. How can Zerka serve you during your trip to Idian? I need supplies. What's available? For material, I suggest you speak to the general vendor near the docking. He keeps the store well stocked. They charge a fair value for mundane goods and armor. If it's weapons you want, you'll need to deal with the Zerka representative. That would be me. If you're here to purchase local species, you must wait for a licensed Zerka Corporation trader to return from deliveries outside the system. Purchase local species. What do you mean? He means that they're slavers. They take my people from their homes and sell them to the highest bidder. Your current Wookiee seems displeased with the situation, but I fail to see a concern. You seem to be a satisfied customer. Zalbar is no slave. He pledged a life debt to me. Ah, very difficult thing to state. I commend you for it. So much easier than relying on restraining collars. Do not demean the life debt. Do not. I must warn you, you will be blamed for the actions of your Wookiee. Please call him off. Basically, when KOTOR 2 came out to Switch, they promised DLC that adds in the cut content. Years go by with no word, and today it was announced that the DLC was canceled. Of fucking course. The cut content... First off, KOTOR 2 had an absurd amount of cut content. Like, KOTOR 1 had a ridiculous amount of cut content also, but compared to KOTOR 2, it's fucking nothing. Like, what was it? Like, it was solid fourth of the game or something? It was a fuck ton. A lot of it was unsalvageable, like most games with cut content. Like, usually when a game gets its content cut, it's in the earlier stages of development to the point where it's like, in order to restore it, you would need to, like, actively create parts of the game. Like a big example is, like, Demon Souls, the cut Arc Stone, or whatever the fuck they're called, had an entire giant area dedicated, and the area has, like, textures and shit and like a general level design, but there's like fuck all there. Like it is by no means a functional level, and if your character were to somehow end up there, you would just fall into an infinite void. Like that's what most video game cut content really is. So BioWare would have to create, first off, modern BioWare, not even the people that work, no, actually it was Obsidian who worked on it. Whoever's in charge of the port would have to work with the original, like, I think they would have to work with, they'd have to work with the fucking version of the game that they're using. Like, they'd have to, like, create specific Switch-based DLC and work with the fucking buggy mess that was KOTOR 2. I cannot believe they said they would add in the cut content. That would be fucking baffling to me. It's no wonder they were like, yeah, that's not gonna fucking happen. Because I can't believe they would even promise that. Then you have Atlas, who cuts off content that is fully playable and mods can put it back. There's some cut enemies there, so that's something. Some other company that was made for modern porting Star Wars games. Yeah, I said it was So, okay. So this is an issue that happens with KOTOR and KOTOR 2, is people, like, there are two camps. There are people that think BioWare made KOTOR and KOTOR 2, and then there are people who think Obsidian made both KOTOR and KOTOR 2, when in reality, BioWare made KOTOR, and Obsidian made KOTOR 2. And let me be clear, right? This was, like, the fucking prime age of both companies, right? This was when BioWare was still good. This was when Obsidian was still good. So, like, both games are good games, right? Like, but, like, and they're, as far as, like, Western RPG companies, BioWare and Obsidian are, like, top of the pack, right? Especially back then. Especially when they made the games. But, like, they're not the same fucking company. Let's give some fucking credit where it's due. Why do the Wookiees tolerate you doing this? It's not me personally. I merely represent Zerka Corporation at this outpost. There are other directors at other stations, of course. Arrangements have been made with the Wookiee leadership. Harvesting is handled as delicately as possible, relatively speaking. Tell me about it. I might be more understanding if I know. If it'll ease your temper, I will give specifics. We supply arms in exchange for a supply of healthy Wookiees. We're kept profitable and an agreeable leader is kept in power. It keeps the process of becoming a constant firefight. What's this leader's name? I believe his name is Shonder. I don't deal with him, thank goodness. Far too British. That is not a name I wanted to hear. Sounds as though your thrall has an opinion about arrangement with this leader, but it doesn't matter. Shonder is unquestioned. What about it, Zelbar? What's the matter? That's not something I want to talk about. Not yet. Please, is there anything else? I have work to do. Aspir is the name of the company who ported KOTOR 2 and said they'd make cut content DLC. Well, that was a fucking check they had. I cannot... I think that was a promise they said because, like, they're like, yeah, everyone knows KOTOR 2 has cut content. And then I bet they looked at it and was like, oh, this is untenable. The fun thing about that is fans have edited, like, have finished a good portion of KOTOR 2 content. Like there has been a concerted fan effort to actually restore a lot of content to KOTOR 2. From what I understand, it is a significant rework of the game. And from what I also understand, there is still a significant portion that there was straight up not enough to work with to actually finish. So, Aspir was out of their fucking mind when they made that promise, is what I'm saying. Like, if fans haven't been able to fucking finish KOTOR 2 in, like, 20 years, I have no fucking idea why they thought they were gonna do it. I have no other, other questions to ask. I will answer if I can. I need supplies. What's available? What weapons do you have available? Zerka maintains a well-stocked armory that's open to all available customers. You may browse at your leisure. I've never heard of Aspir, by the way. I just want to say that. 2 heavy blasters, those are actually useful. Sonic pistol, disruptor pistol, ion blaster, blaster pistol, Bothan Discord gun. This was conceived as a last resort weapon should espionage fail and a quick retreat be called for. It's effective, but Bothans would prefer it's not needed. Why am I buying grenades? Ooh, vibration cell. Tell me about the planet you called G5623 before. G5623 is a numerical designation. The galactic base name is Dian, chosen by a corporate ballot among stockholders. It would seem you're already acquainted with this world, given your choice of traveling companion. I've been away for a very long time. You let the beast speak for you? You allow more liberties than most of our customers. I'd like to ask about Zerka Corporation. Zerka Corporation has branches in many systems, mostly concerned with weapon production for personal and ship-mounted use. Of course, the many outposts of this world are only concerned with bio-acquisitions. Other questions? I'm looking for something called a star map. I'm sorry, no information on that. Are you sure you're meant to come here? This world is very primitive. Much of it's still unexplored even by the locals. The forest gets more dangerous the further you descend. The lowest levels, the Shadowlands, are largely unknown. Aspir probably won't be around for long. What have they done? What else have they made? Is it just, like, one port? Like, they just ported some Star Wars games? Very good. Feel free to inspect your operation, but I won't advise going against too far from the main landing area. The planet is still very much untamed. We've not sent patrols for last tours. I could see there being a market for, like, developers that exclusively handle ports, because a lot of ports are needed. And if you could, like, companies have games that they would make money from if they could port it, but a lot of them don't want to spend the resources. So I can see there being a market in video games, like, for video game companies for porting. I don't know if it's viable in the long run. Like I'm saying, I could see how this could be, like, you could make a developing studio specifically for porting, and then just, like, have people outsource to you. I'm not saying this exists. I'm not saying it's viable. I'm saying I could see a position where that would be useful in a market, and I'm not... I just don't... I don't know the metrics on that, right? So I'm kind of speculating here. What do you want? I don't waste my time talking. We got a Pazak. I like playing more than talking. What do you want? Let's just have a fucking game of Pazak. Sure, let's go. Smart wager start, though, because I don't know how good you are. It's courtesy to new players. Low stakes for now. We'll raise them later. Give me the Pazak. Pazak it up. Wow! This ain't gonna be the hand, is it? Okay, now hold on. We could actually win this. We were out of the game, and now we're back in the game. Alright. Alright. Hold up. Hold up. Now we're losing again. Now this is the question of, can he beat a 20? No, he cannot! Eat a dick, you dumb bitch! Well, you beat me fair on that hand. That was pretty well played. I made a few mistakes I shouldn't have. Looks like you got some skill. Could be beginner's luck. Want another game? No, thank you. Goodbye! I think that is the first time in Pazak history we ever made money. They used to port games to Mac. Oh my god. And then they ported all those old Star Wars games to modern consoles. Then they were put in charge of a KOTOR remake, and apparently LucasArts was so dissatisfied with the work they kicked off the project. Oh, they were the ones in charge of the remake. I had heard that got delayed. By, like, a lot.
Hey, Big Z, we gotta do something about your breath. I didn't want to say anything, but it's bad. Worse than usual, which is hard to believe. In fact, now that I think about it, your breath has been pretty rancid ever since we rescued you from those Gamorrean slavers.
I usually get this dialogue on Terrace. I can't believe it's been this long. They didn't. I wasn't their guest mission. I was a prisoner. I don't think they cared much about what happened to me.
Oh, Zalbar, that's terrible. I know how grouchy you get if you don't get your 8 square meals a day. I'm amazed you didn't pass out from hunger.
I did manage to take a chunk out of the arm of the guards that wanted to clue close my cage, but it tasted awful, so I spit it out.
Ew! No wonder your breath is so bad, Big Z. Gamorreans smell like bantha poodoo. We'll have to pick you up a toothbrush to clean that stench out of your choppers.
Wookiees do not brush their teeth, mission. It just isn't done. What humiliation will you use on me next? A comb?
Okay, relax. No toothbrush. Sheesh. Just try and eat something else to cover up that smell, okay? Stay away from anything that's smart enough to lock you in a cage this time.
I'll take care of it as soon as I can, Mission. For now, let's stay focused on the task at hand. For the record, I am looking at how to start the Mission's Brother quest. I need like a companion quest guide or something for this game. The companion quests are the ones you have to navigate. Below's a list of companion quests. Basil's mother can't start on Manon or Korriban. Canderous' honor can start anywhere but Tatooine. Great. Juhani's Pass can start anywhere but Dantooine. Mission's brother can't start on Tatooine or Manon. Karth's son can start anywhere but Korriban. We are specifically looking for Mission's brother. Any event location in docking bays. So supposedly it should happen.
Hold here, Spacer. Zerka Corporation doesn't recommend traveling in Wild Adean. Katarn attacks are especially bad right now. Wookiee hunters usually keep numbers down, but I think they leave certain areas infested, just hoping a Zerka guard will get killed.
What do you know about the Wookiees?
You're the Wookiee lover? Why don't you tell me about them? I'm sure you're real close friends.
I can choke you with my brain.
Keep your pet on a leash, or you'll be wearing him. I've no love for these animals. I've seen guards ripped to shreds.
So the Wookiees are fighting back?
Not anymore. Look, you want to know why the Wookiees are acting compliant? You go ask them. When they rip your head off, we'll fish it out of the Shadowlands and give it a proper burial. How about that?
What can you tell me about Zerka Corporation?
I don't talk to Wookiee lovers. Get rid of your rug, and maybe I won't have you shot.
Sir, you will die if you keep fucking around. What do you know about the Wookiees?
You're the Wookiee lover.
Alright. I'm going past you. I paid the landing fee.
I won't stop you, but you leave this area at your own risk.
The space
We're
races
here to
remind me of
protect
something
the
my mom
company,
showed me.
Not you.
Oh, can of wrath.
What?
A news clipping from that time she made into a local paper because a teacher called her a word that starts with N followed by lover. Okay.
I'm here.
Huh. I would assume the teacher got fired. The fuck are y'all? Zoerth over her being friends with Black Kid. I am just trying to trigger Missions Quest. I'm not even saying we're gonna finish Missions Quest. I just want to trigger the fucking thing. Candor is leveled. Give him some... Oh my god, Canderous, why is your dex so goddamn low? Old white guy in the early 90s. Yeah, that would be the type, wouldn't it? I'm gonna go... So he has Power Shot, Rapid Shot, Implant level 3. So a good choice would be Toughness or Crit Shot. And Crit Shot's actually kind of terrible. I'll go Crit Shot. Fuck it. He's a soldier, so I think he gets more feats, right? Soldier's basically this game's version of a fighter. Frankly, I'm willing to bet some of my old asshole teachers probably say that word on the regular. I don't know if I've ever had a racist teacher. I'm just assuming, considering she gave us a lecture on how amazing of a man. I assume this is post-election Trump. 2016. Okay, so this was election Trump. All right, so what you got to understand about Donald Trump, all right, is that yes, he was always bad, undeniable, right? But back before the election, we didn't know. All right, we didn't know how bad. All right. Now I'm not saying I was ever a Trump supporter. Don't worry. But what I am saying is that Donald Trump was looked at with a sort of amused indifference before the election. Like, what it means to like Donald Trump pre-election is completely different post-election. He was also, like, the star of, like, a reality show. So there were probably quite a few, like, Trump fans. The Apprentice was the name of a show. And he also appeared in, like, professional wrestling a few times. Like, I actually saw him, I think, on Monday Night Raw. I have not seen the show, but...
Incoming fires!
So yeah, if someone says they like Trump, they liked Trump, a time period is kind of... And, like, needless to say, when he wasn't running for election, there wasn't, like, a lot of, like, Trump news, right? So a lot of his other controversies didn't really reach people's ears pre-election. Now, if you're still a Trump supporter post-election, you either weren't paying attention, or you're probably awful. Because holy shit. I think he recently, like, lost a court case, like a civil case about, like, sexual assault. I don't know how many teachers I had post-election Trump fans I had for teachers, because that's when I developed certain issues being around people. Alright, really I'm just hoping to trigger. I'm better at that now, but that isn't saying much. You know what? It's a process and it's your journey, right? Here's what I'll say, right? Never forget that 2 steps forward, 1 step back is still a step forward, right? Sometimes you just gotta tell yourself that. Yes!
Mission, is that you? It's me, Lena, remember? I was dating your brother back on Terrace. Lena? What are you doing here? Where's Griff? I'm just passing through. Griff and I broke up a few months after we left Terrace together. Probably for the best. Your brother can be charming, Mission, but he's bad news. Don't you start trashing my brother, you cantina rat. Take that back or I'll smack you so hard your head tails will pop off. Mission, what's wrong with you? Why are you acting
So it's worth
this
noting
way?
that, like, Twi'leks have the absolute worst goddamn biology design, because their head tails are quite literally their brains. Could you imagine if human brains just existed as soft tendrils that leaked out of our heads? Like, like, somewhere in the Twi'lek history of evolution, natural selection done fucked up. You took her brother away and left her all alone on Terrace. Mission gets a little worked up when it comes to her brother.
Yeah, I know how she feels. Griff can be pretty...
They're the easiest aliens to kill. I think... I forget exactly what happens if you damage a Twi'lek head tail.
You didn't want his little sister tagging along. That's why he had to leave me behind. Is that what the Hutt spawn told you? I wanted you to come with us, Mission. I even offered to pay for your ticket.
Why not? I paid for everything else while I was with that freeloader. But he told me you didn't want to leave Terrace. I said we shouldn't even go then. But he said we'd come back and get you after we struck it rich on Tatooine. Just another one of his lies.
No, you're the one who's lying. Griff wouldn't... He wouldn't try to leave me behind.
Maybe you thought you were better off on a terrorist mission?
Think about it. If Griff wasn't trying to ditch you, Mission, then why didn't he
What
tell me where
happens
we were
if
going?
the above the walls are
Terrace,
conduit?
he told me looking after you was holding him back. Griff's always looking to blame other people for his own problems. That's why he abandoned you. He did the same thing to me too. As soon as I ran out of money, he started blaming me for
Let's
all
see if
his
this question's been
problems.
answered.
Like it's my fault his get-rich-quick
They're
schemes
called
never worked
Leku,
out.
that's right. I'd like to hear Griff's side of things before I judge him.
Hey, if you want to talk to Griff, go ahead. Last I heard, he was going to make a fortune working the Zerka Corp mines on Tatooine. But as far as I'm concerned, he's out of my life forever.
Griff's better off without you anyway, you table-dancing, brother-stealing home wrecker.
I guess that's my cue to leave then. I didn't mean to upset you, Mission. But one day you'll see
If
more
your
about your
Leku
brother.
is
I hope
removed...
It's not too late by then.
Okay, so... Alright, so I think it's one of those, it depends if you get medical attention. Apparently, a Twi'lek got his Leku bitten off and he died within an hour. But then there was another, like, Jedi Master who had a damaged Leku and he was okay. So I think it's a medical attention. Also, he was a Jedi Master, though, and Jedi are fucking durable, so... So keep that in mind. Yeah, he's a Jedi, though. That's a bit different. Some of them tattoo their Leku. That's true. I know Darth Talon did at one point. Some of them wear them for aesthetic purposes. Yeah. Yeah, okay, yeah, so if your Leku's damaged, you just fucking die, I guess. Yeah, they really are, like, the most... Well, to be fair, though, most people describe Twi'leks as, like, the hot race, that are, like, physically fragile. So, if anything, that's, also Traguta have 3 of them. So, if anything, that's on brand, right? Like, they're physically frail, but you would fuck one. Although, I think we do need to address the fact that female Twi'lek are, like, 1,000 times more attractive than male Twi'lek. Like, can we talk about that? Like, male Twi'lek are not attractive. But then you look at the women, you're like, well, goddamn. Hey, everyone likes tentacles. They are quite literally the most versatile appendage. Isn't the guy at Jabba's palace, however the fuck you spell it, a Twi'lek? Yeah, he's really Bib Fortuna, isn't it? Yeah, he's ugly as shit. That's my point. The women are very attractive, and the men are not. I just remembered I actually need HK in my party. Because we're about to kill... We're about to kill Quite literally all of the goddamn sand people. You're the blue girl beat him. It's nothing to be ashamed of, maid. Everyone loves hot, sexy appendages. Wait, why am I doing this quest? We should be ending the stream. Alright, we'll talk to her.
Greetings again from the offices of Zerga Corporation. Is this about bounties or something else?
I'm looking for a miner named Griff.
Griff? There's no Griff here. Never heard of him. No, I don't remember a single Griff on the Zerga Corporation payroll.
Are you certain of that? I would leave sooner if I knew.
Oh, you mean that Twi'lek? Must have slipped my mind for a second. Yes, of course I remember Griff. We hired that Twi'lek some time ago. Not a good worker, according to his crew chief. Always complaining and faking injuries to get out of work. He entered false timesheets and slept through his shifts. We even suspected him of stealing Zerga Corporation supplies, although we could never prove it.
So you fired him?
We would have fired him, but we needed workers. It would have been better for him if he had been fired. Then the Sand People wouldn't have gotten him.
You mean he's dead?
He was lost in a Sand People raid we suffered not too long ago. There were prisoners taken, but our rescue parties never found anyone alive. In the end, it just wasn't cost-effective to keep searching. All miners sign a waiver absolving Zerga Corporation of liability in these circumstances.
So your workers are all expendable?
Zerga Corporation cares deeply for all of its employees. That's why we've started a bounty program to thin the Sand People numbers. We didn't find his body, so we have to assume he was taken prisoner. Whether he's still alive, I couldn't say. That's all I can tell you. I shouldn't even have said this much. This is all privileged corporate information. I could lose my job.
Never mind. Just want to ask you something else.
Very well.
I have to go. Goodbye.
Fair.
Alright, Mission. What's up, girl?
Hey there. What can I do?
Oh, talk about your brother.
Talk? What is there to talk about? Those Sand People took my brother prisoner. Griff may be a slime, but we have to go rescue him. We can't just leave him with those monsters.
Don't worry, Mission. We'll get him back.
I knew I could count on you. There's definite fringe benefits to being friends with a Jedi.
Here's a fun fact about Doros. They have better ears than humans, and if you play a frequency loud enough, their brains explode. I mean, I guess technically, if you play a loud enough frequency to a human, its brain also explodes, but, like, it's a lot easier with a Doros. She went from you space Harley, still my brother, to Griff may be a shithead, but we gotta save him real fast. I think I missed a line of dialogue. I think I was supposed to talk to her and then talk to the Zerka representative. That might have been on me. I might have sequence broke a little bit, but... That's okay. I'm about to go from... We've made friends with the Sand People, and we're an honored warrior, to, oh no, you've all died horribly to a lightsaber in like 6 seconds, so... Can you choke a raid?
Ready. Acknowledgement.
Oh my god, I can't! Oh, that's awesome! Look at that. Look, I'm fucking choking it. I'm choking it with my Jedi powers. My completely light side Jedi powers are choking it to death. And the game crashed! Woo! We did it! Yeah, that's what I'm talking about, baby. Woohoo! Stream is over! We ended last stream with a crash on Tatooine. We're ending this stream with a crash on Tatooine. We will never leave this planet. We live here now. Oh, I need a crash scanner. I think it would be too late to start now, but we're at like 20-something. I swear to God. It will be, before the end of this playthrough, it will be over 40, for sure. Anyway, yeah, what is today? Today's Saturday, right? So tomorrow is Sunday, so yeah, we have a stream tomorrow. Okay. So yeah, we will be finished with Tatooine tomorrow, probably. Hopefully everyone had a good time. I did. This has been Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic Stream 14. Since stream times are so far down, there is a chance that Persona 5 will be surpassed in the near future, for the longest, like, most streams required to finish a game. But what I will say about that is, does it really count if every single episode isn't 5 hours? I don't think so. Anyway, yeah. Bye-bye.